pushing the charge.
They only have an issue with it if they, A, have too small of a quarterback to do it, not a big enough center, or, like you said, it cost them a big game. It's like, okay, this is no good. So we got that, and then we got that. What's the champion in Cobb County?
KSU.
Oh,
Track team.
I didn't know.
We can talk about them on the 5 o'clock show, too, all right?
Absolutely. The note about his awesome.
Look at how intense Larry is.
I thought he was pointing from this side. It looks like he has a wine glass. Doesn't it look like there's just a little Merlot? That's why. Holy shit. Larry doesn't drink wine. He likes some dark-ass beer.
The only time I drink beer is here.
All right.
I'm not allowed to drink it at home or anything.
Oh, you're not?
No, so Wednesday is my only night ever.
Is your beer night?
It's my beer night.
I started playing trivia on Tuesday nights in Cartersville, and the guy said something to me. I was like, dude, I'm lucky if I drink once every 6 weeks in my normal life. I was like, but now I have a Tuesday function, so give me a PBR. Great final question yesterday. I didn't get it.
Oh, Jeopardy?
No, and I played trivia.
Oh,
I'm a one-man team who has won money a few times off some really big tables, just want to say. But final question last night, what are the only 2 Ivy League schools to have a Heisman Trophy winner? Gotta get them both. So, okay, first thing, can I name the 8 Ivy? So came up with that list, and then you start looking, and you know when you look at that list, you're like, okay, nothing happened in the aughts, 90s, 80s, 70s, or 60s. Let's go way the hell on back. One team
Blanchard was Army, wasn't he?
Army was great, but Army was
He
never...
wasn't an Ivy school.
Yeah, correct. It was not. And that's exactly where you go. You go World War II, you start thinking Glenn Davis, all that kind of stuff.
Glenn Davis was Notre Dame, right?
No, he was running back for Army.
He was?
Yeah. But it was Yale had 2 in the 30s, and Princeton had one in 1951.
Wow.
I had Yale and Penn. I had Penn and Princeton. Those were my final 2. And I was like,
Yale made sense.
yeah, well, yeah, that's what I figured. But,
They
you know.
had so many championships early on.
Right. Well, everything seems like it makes sense when you get it right. You know, I thought that made sense.
I would have guessed Yale.
But the thing about it is when Yale was winning championships, there was no Heisman Trophy winner. The first Heisman was 36. So when Yale was good, they didn't have an award. So then it's even tougher when you're like,
The final Jeopardy on Jeopardy yesterday
Haven't seen it.
was an NFL question called
I got
NFL Geography. What state has the lowest density to also have a football team in population?
lowest density
Yeah,
plus
with
a
an NFL team. Lowest density state with an NFL team.
probably one of those 2. Give me another second.
I thought I had it, and I didn't have it.
Washington? Seattle?
No,
Colorado?
that was my guess. Colorado's number 2.
And it wasn't Wisconsin? I just went, those 3 all popped up as Kansas City?
Las Vegas.
New one. Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Denver, they said
Makes
Denver.
total
Two
sense.
of the guys
Makes-
guessed 2, and it was Denver.
makes
I said, that was
total
my
sense.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Broncos or Seahawks, and it was like, well, Denver's a lot bigger than Seattle is, so maybe.
Hey,
How are
Dana.
you?
How are y'all? Good.
We're good.
wondered if I was getting one.
And I gotta let you know, no, you're never gonna regret it. So open up your eyes, I got a big surprise. And if you don't like it, girl, I wanna make a move. Dang, I didn't realize I was a minute away.
Why'd you have to go and make things so complicated? Larry, did you watch the video on X that I posted?
I can. Yeah, I can. Just if you go to the account, I can show you how to go up.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you heard me say your name on the post.
That should be under the.
I said I want to make sure you heard me say your name on the post.
Okay.
I said me and Robert and Larry. I might even said Larry the engineer. I don't remember. Isn't Dylan a Carolina fan?
I believe he is.
So I'm sure Keekly will be his.
It's almost like we brought him in here just so he could give us a homer answer.
Yeah. No, no.
Don't ever be sorry with us.
You like that?
I like a lot of things.
I don't think I've seen her in here before.
Huh?
I don't think I've seen her in here. But Brian knew she was. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Miller's Ale House on a Wednesday afternoon. It's time for three guys who love sports.
It's funny, we look like two guys.
I know, but soon we shall be three guys who love sports.
We'll have three soon.
Yeah, this is a show that we help guys going through their mental and physical issues, and we can help take their mind off what they're going through for an hour a week. And you help somebody, and they help somebody, and we all help each other. This world will be a better place. So happy to be here at Miller's, where I will be having a chicken BLT. You missed out on that, didn't you?
I don't even believe you until it shows up. I don't think it's anything but lemon pepper. Did you order lemon pepper and they said they didn't have it?
No.
Did
I went straight to the chicken BLT.
Wow. I'm
You know
blown
why?
away.
Because I've got like 14 legs at home that I need to bake. And I said, well, I don't want to get drumettes because I'll be eating them for the rest of the week. So
There you go.
I thought I'll get that. What did you get?
I went burger.
Yeah.
I love that burger.
I like Larry went cheeseburger, didn't you, Larry?
Yeah, I also went burger.
So we all got sandwiches.
Handhelds.
Yeah, that's unusual.
That is.
That may not have happened before. I don't know if I said it. My name's Chuck Burge. This is my co-host, Mr. Robert Giddy. Robert, how are you, buddy?
We're doing well today.
Robert had a very interesting weekend. Went up to Illinois, played some golf on a very swanky course, and got to see
Schwanky.
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark go at it, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And Larry probably we learned something today. We've known Larry for a long time, but we didn't know this was the only place he drinks beer. We thought he was always taking one down at home, but only on Wednesdays does Larry.
Turns out that's why those things flow so well for him here on Wednesdays.
Absolutely. So we got a commercial to get to, and hopefully our guest who was supposed to be here at 5:02 will show up in a minute.
Oh, it's back to me?
I thought you said you were ready. Whatever you want to do, go for it. Making preparations for women not around anymore is not easy. Nobody likes to think about their own mortality, and we can talk about it next week. That's how I fit in with a good picture. That's why you should contact our friend Ron Smith to see relationship. Whether you bring married or cremated, it costs you going up. But you can run from price today and take this final expense off your to-do list. Do your loved ones a favor and take care of your final expense so that when the time does come knocking, you won't have to worry about it. If you're age 1 to 85 like Larry, they have a plan ready for you, so please contact our friend Ron and his team at 440-561-0758. What number is that? The big one on the screen, 440-561-0758. And we thank you, Ron Smith, for being sponsored from 3 Ounce Ministries. Coming up tonight at 7.
You don't want to miss it. If you stick around or if you want to come back, we will be hosting the Conference USA Men's Track Champions from Kennesaw State University. Not only that, all the coaches from the coaching staff will be here to celebrate with us. They're going to have a little party here, and we're going to be interviewing all the coaches, so that should be a lot of fun.
So I don't want to, think I pick up on something, but are our 2 first Conference USA titles
indoor and outdoor men's track?
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Dominating the new group.
Yeah, it's now going to become a tradition. I talked to Coach Kell the other day. I said, well, you've got the first 2, you might as well get the next 100, right? So.
Well, we want the other ones, everybody else to join in, but
we don't want anybody else to ever win a track championship at Conference USA.
We definitely do not.
Other than the Owls. So we can talk a little bit about that now. I went up there and kind of walked in and surprised them.
Up in Murfreesboro, correct?
Up in Murfreesboro. I saw Callie and Coach Kell and Coach Mike. I walked out and he said, "How did you get here?" I said, "Well, in my car." He said, "No, how'd you get out on the track?"
No, I mean.
I said, "Well, I talked to that nice policeman over there, and I said, I just want to go over and say hey to Coach. Is that okay?" He said, "Well, as long as nobody calls me and says I need to come get you, you're fine." So it was very nice. And I even posted a little video about him and Callie, with him and Callie on X. So start following us on X at The Owl Show. Is that right, Larry? Your mic is not on at all.
Yeah,
One
it's,
too many beers already.
X is Owls Who Live Sports, SPTS.
SPTS, Owls Who Live SPS.
Could work for both.
So happy to have that. I guess I know Dylan Bledsoe from BioLite is our guest, and he called me and told me he was
Should
stuck
we
in
introduce our new intern?
Yeah, we should do
Sure.
that. Oh, here comes Dylan in the door. We have a new intern, Blake. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Good radio.
He's got a face radio. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we have better radio.
I have a face radio. You put a camera here.
Yeah.
No, always good to have somebody young, much closer than the rest of us to, interject when we mess things up.
Yeah.
Hey,
And finally, we have
talking about?
Dylan Bledsoe. So we moved one of the
Nice.
they won the men's outdoor. All the coaches are coming here tonight.
Very cool.
To,
Okay.
To celebrate.
They were
and
here
have
a couple
big
of
party.
weeks.
some
Just
of
Coach
them
Kell.
were.
Coach Kell
This
was.
is going to be a
that's
lot
right.
of coaches.
That's right. That's
So
right.
this
That's
is
right.
all the track coaches.
Very cool.
Have a party out in the balcony and celebrate their championship. Went up, surprised them. It was fun.
Nice.
Had a good time.
Busy.
Yeah.
That's good.
And
Busy's good.
traffic is not nice today. So.
Well, you know what it has a lot to do with is, Stylesboro Road. Up to Bear Park. So
okay.
just getting out of my neighborhood on 04 it took me an hour to get from the square to my house the other day.
Golly. That's
And
nuts.
it's 4.5 miles.
Yeah.
So it was no fun.
Welcome to the
and it's supposed to
suburbs.
be like that tomorrow.
Good.
I know, that's very
Yeah,
exciting.
just work on
Yeah,
days.
but as I highlight last week, it was
That's right. Yeah.
2 for $3.
Yeah.
The place.
You're waiting at Kroger for the next bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I go to I'll do that
And Kroger wants once, and then Chuck will go all
That's
the
right.
all the time.
Exclusive.
Exactly. All right, so let's talk some Braves baseball. They finally got the 500 mark. and even one game over, and now they're back at 500.
I was about to say you jinxed it when you sent the agenda yesterday.
I mean, that's nice they've got so far, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And Detroit, they've got the best record in baseball.
Absolutely. We had some 3 big games in Tigers, and they were all one-run games.
But the Braves had a bunch of those lately, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the reason why they play 162 games is to watch Detroit flounder.
Yeah.
Because it's honestly, it's not difficult to dominate base and a half.
Yeah.
You know, it's can you do it for 5 months?
Exactly.
So we'll see. I like
And it's
Detroit.
not difficult to undominate like the Braves did for all. And now here
Correct.
they come, and they 7 games over 500 since their 0-7 start.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
but you know, the Braves are a much better team than a lot of the other teams that we talk about on a semi-regular basis.
And I know it was hard for Braves fans to have that start down here and to see that, but at the same time, I think everyone outside of Atlanta and Braves country knew that was kind of a facade. That the Braves were much better than that 0-7 record, and the Braves are better than their 24-24 record right now, I think too.
I
We'll
pulled up
find
this
out.
stat recently. Last 500 games of Major League Baseball. Dodgers have won 317. That's the best. That's the best mark. So 17. That is 183.
Yeah.
Second is the Braves. 302. So you know.
Yeah.
So it's in the baseball season. The one Braves game I'm looking forward to this year is the one that they're going to play
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
against the Reds. That ought to be a fun thing. Maybe we should go up.
Ticket from
Oh
Bristol.
yeah. They're very proud of those tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah. All right. Other
If
thing-
only I had an uncle who lived in North Carolina close. Oh wait, I do.
Yeah. Well, why didn't he get us tickets to Quail Hollow? Because that was quite the tournament this weekend.
Sure was.
A lot of rain to start with, and then a lot of good golf. I was truly amazed when Scotty teed off at 240 on Sunday afternoon with a 3-stroke lead. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. And then by the time he was on 9 and Rahm was on 11, they were tied.
Rom caught him. Yep.
At 9, and then he winds up beating Rahm by 8, by 7, only because he lollygagged up the 18th. He didn't have to.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, but what
except
a great.
except for the spike.
Yeah, you've never seen him get the hat. And I didn't see any questions about that. Did you?
It's just so emotional. He very seldom shows that much emotion. How awesome is it to know? I was reading something on Friday night. Can't get a different me. He's 2 of 1, none of the others. The guy is solid.
It's insane. He's cool.
I think he's the best this generation, and I think he's getting close to being one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done so many good things. What, 15 tournaments he's won since pushback? Okay.
I'm just pumping the brakes a little bit.
okay.
Best of all time. He's got 3 majors.
But he's also won 15 tournaments, 9, along with the Rangers, and there are only 2 other people that have done that in history, and they're named Tiger and Jack. So that's pretty impressive company.
No, there's no doubt he's an impressive company. The only reason I pump the brakes is about 4 years ago. We started to know. I told a few people, Spieth is the guy. He's never going to lose again. So it comes, it goes, but he's clearly on a bender.
Yeah, and Spieth didn't even make the cut, did he? I think he got cut along with Brooks Koepka and several other LIV players. And I got to ask you this place. I know what you're going to say. Do you think when it comes to Sunday, when you're playing for free and when you're getting paid millions and millions of dollars, it's a lot different when you get there on a Sunday and you have to earn your paycheck.
Yeah.
And I don't think the pressure. I think not doing it every week is a lot different.
100. Yeah, I would agree. I still think the pressure definitely impacts them.
Yeah.
Those guys won majors before they got paid $100 million. There's a lot of guys on the PGA Tour who wondered how they're going to pay for their mom retirement and everything else. These guys don't have any issues. They do it or not do it. But they didn't do it.
That's why in sports talk we're all entitled to our own opinion.
Yeah.
Well, correct. But if a guy from LIV next week, are you going to change your opinion?
No, like
there you
DeChambeau
go.
did. Like DeChambeau did last year.
Correct.
Right, yeah. But he didn't really tank. He didn't play a bad round on Sunday, but
He
only played 72 holes.
Yeah.
54.
54.
And I think that may be different from our perspective when you talk about somebody who is, trying to pay for their mom's retirement versus someone who's already generationally wealthy. But at the same time, too, that's what kind of keeps that spark going a little bit. Is that even though yes they're already generationally wealthy, they don't let themselves feel that no matter what we envision. So I still think the pressure's there.
And I don't know much about being the cool kid. Okay, I don't know anything about being the cool kid. But if you were once the cool guy on tour, and just take any of the you guys you walk into the thing and everybody wants to touch your hand going through, it's $100 million, and everybody goes boo. So there probably is a little bit in the back there to show them who I am today. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, right. So next major is the Open. I can't even remember where it is. It's not Bethpage. No, Ryder Cup's at Bethpage.
Bethpage back.
Yeah.
I know it is.
Yeah.
It'll be brutal.
It'll be
Always
next
is.
month. Yeah, in June. And then the British Open, where Shane Lowry won it. I can't remember which course it is, but same place he won it. But we'll get into that later. So Robert had an interesting weekend this weekend. He went to see this Clark Reese feud in person.
Oh, nice.
So Robert was in Indiana for the Sky and thing. He actually saw the bloods flying off the court when he was that close. He was from here to Larry from the court, and he said he could look up their noses, and he was pretty close.
Yeah.
So Robert, tell us about that experience.
All right, let me just say the U.S. Open is at Oakmont.
Oakmont.
And then Dunluce, D-U-N-L-U-C-E, Links is where the Open Championship
But
is.
what's the city?
I bet it's something pretentious.
Portrush. That's where it is. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, women's basketball is unbelievable from the standpoint that nobody wanted to watch it a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm in an arena that has 17,500 people, and it's
packed.
sold out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sold out. There's not an empty seat in the arena, and you know, the cool thing is that I don't know, maybe, you know, I have a couple daughters, maybe that's plays part of it, but you know, you see all the little girls who are there, and you know, this little girls haven't had much to cheer for in this country except for women's soccer,
Yeah, the women's national team,
and occasional Olympic girls or something like that. So it's nice watching them because, you know, everybody's dressed up. I saw at least out of 17,000 people, I saw at least 11,000 different Caitlin Clark shirts.
Wow.
Where people,
That's crazy.
Caitlin fever.
Yeah.
You name it, they got a print on it.
But the feud between the two is a real thing, right?
Oh, it's real.
Yeah.
And, you know, the one, you know, they both downplay it, but when Reese got up off the ground, you know, I can assure you, if we were in the Waffle House parking lot, she'd have gone down. The only reason why Caitlin Clark is still walking is she was on a WNBA court.
Yeah.
But it's cool, and it's good for the game. So things can only add to it. And as much as I like to throw Angel Reese under the bus because she can't shoot the ball at all. She is still the most prolific rebounder in WNBA history, and she did that in a rookie year. And you know, you get no matter what sport you play, you get a little better each year. Well, if she gets to the league at a level that nobody else has, you know, it's not crazy. 15, 16 rebounds a game is coming for her.
Yeah. Crazy.
If people can catch it, the game I was at, she had 10 assists. She had a triple-double, 20, 10, and 10. There was at least 7 missed layups. Where, I mean, not layups.
And they beat them by like 40, didn't
35.
By
Beat them by
35,
35.
And
Stomped
then,
them.
And then the Atlanta went up there and beat them last night, and they're coming back here tomorrow night.
As I said, they're good.
Correct.
And I didn't realize until they were telling me about it that they always played at State Farm, and that's
No,
my
there's a little
ignorance. But they
place
play at
over
the
in,
Skyhawks Arena.
yeah,
Correct. Skyhawks, yeah.
And I believe in most arenas, there's a smaller arena,
Yeah.
and then you have the arena when Caitlin.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And and as far as that goes, I didn't see it. It's not going up yet. It's more of a cleared lot. They are their own stadium, which far be it from me to tell a downtown Midwestern city how to do your stuff, but I don't think the owner doesn't like paying rent to the other guy.
Are they playing at State Farm tonight?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Comes down, they're at your largest arena.
So it happens 1-0 against Caitlin this year, so that's
A
pretty
lot of new players on our team.
Yeah.
The dream is real. It's just a dream.
There you go. All right, so here we go. It's a really cool thing we got the NBA going on. You talk about she had a double. Has there been a double NBA? Yeah, who did it?
The only guy who could do it. The guy who had prophylactics and made personally.
That's right.
The man of men.
Will had a quintuple.
Quintuple. And read those numbers out. I've seen this stat before. It's like 36 rebounds.
53 points, 32 rebounds, blocks,
24 blocks.
4 assists, and 11 steals.
That's absurd.
11 steals.
11
24
steals.
blocks. Think about 24. Anytime there's a picture, he's hung on the Empire State Building. I mean,
one plays out
unbelievable what
there.
that man is able to do. Or was able to do.
Yeah. So back to this year, I just thought that was a fun trivia question. I scroll through Instagram and find all kind of cool stuff in there. We have 4 teams left. Knicks. Who do the Knicks playing?
Knicks,
Pacers.
Pacers.
Pacers, yeah.
And then you got the Wolves and Thunder.
and the Thunder, yeah. And did watched some of the game last night. Did the Wolves hang on?
No, Thunder whooped
Thunder
them.
came back and
Thunder
beat
beat them by
them.
like 30 points.
Oh, wow.
Wolves
Big
had a
second half.
four-point
Lead at halftime.
lead at halftime,
Yeah.
and then they got drubbed. They
Yeah.
got run out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had 19 turnovers, I think, the Wolves did last night. So I think obviously Oklahoma City is definitely the best defensive team in the league, but you're not going to
Absolutely.
but you're not going to have Minnesota turn the ball over 19 times. That's
Probably not, but
Yeah.
the other problem with last night's game, and with like you said, their defense is so good. It's not their starting five defense. Their 6, 7, and
Yeah,
8, 9 guy can
it's the
defend the
depth,
ball,
yeah.
and they understand once you beat me off the ball, there's help coming. It's not like you're out on an island.
Right.
They're unbelievable.
And they've got NBA MVP was announced today.
Yeah.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander did
Oh,
win
yeah?
the MVP.
Yeah. SGA.
Shout out to my home and native land, Canada. He's Canadian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blame. Oh wait, that's the South
South
Park.
Park, yeah.
Canada.
Oh, Canada or
So
blame Canada?
who do you like in the finals?
Personally, I would love to see the Timberwolves do it because of Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Bulldog great. Build the statue over there. People went 500.
You're only here for about an hour and a half, but we love you.
But we love you. We're going to claim you anywhere. We're going to post a bunch of Instagram about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Nobody went to any of your games
Yeah.
either, but we're still going to claim you.
I would love the Wolves and the Knicks, but I think it's going to be the opposite. I think it is going to be
Thunder
Indiana
Pacers?
versus the Thunder. Yep.
I-
And I would pick the Thunder to win that one.
I think that the press and the league wants the Knicks to win.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah. So
and I watched
they're
that
going to
ga-
get the calls, and I'm with you. I'd like to see Minnesota win too,
Yeah.
not because of AD. But
Yeah.
But I'd like to see them win. But I think the Knicks are going to be.
And I'm not a big, I don't follow the NBA too much. And when the Hawks are good, I'll definitely go on the bandwagon every so often.
So you've been on a bandwagon twice in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I rode those bandwagons hard too.
Oh, yeah, I did too. I did too.
But I watched the game on Friday, the next game, and you talk about a game that was so important to that franchise and to that city, and to win in that kind of dominating fashion like that. As a sports fan, is like, you don't dream of not making the conference or going to the conference for 25 years, but you dream of winning that in that kind of magnitude. That looked like such a fun party up in New York.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
But you look at these four teams.
Blake, would you grab Larry? Tell him we need.
The Thunder has not won a title since '79. They haven't won a title since '73, and the Pacers and Wolves have never won titles.
Never won it. Yeah. So it's a party for
It's somebody's finally getting something that they have not gotten in a long time out of this.
All right, so Dylan has Knicks and I'm sorry, the Pacers and the Thunder.
yeah.
I got the Knicks and the Thunder. Who do you have?
I'm just gonna go with what I want, which never happens, but I will go Pacers Wolves.
Pacers Wolves. All right, let's get our two commercials out of the way, and we'll move on and talk some more.
Joshua Smith and his wife Tammy are both graduates of Kennesaw State College. He's been practicing law for 24 years, specializing in sports and entertainment law, while continuing in criminal defense, civil litigation, juvenile and personal injury law. And he's ready to represent you all the way from your small town to the Supreme Court and any appellate court in between. With all the new rules regarding NIL and cash
payments to athletes, they are placing a new emphasis on Kennesaw State University student athletics to help our student athletes better navigate some of the bigger issues that have tripped up so many. Give them a call tomorrow at 706-217-2095. That's right, 706-217-2095.
There are a lot of places to get your oil changed in the Kennesaw area, but if you're looking for a personal experience, warranty, keep your joy running for the next 100,000 miles. We proudly offer
Castrol products.
And
He was
Blake, you need to learn to say Castrol products because everybody does that with it.
He was under my hood today.
Well, how about your cars?
Well, that too.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, Brian's doing brakes for me and changing oil, and he's taking care of Robert, so that's pretty cool. Go see Brian, and we thank you, Joshua and Tammy, too, for being sponsors of the show. Where's my agenda? Oh, so let's move on to, this should be a very short segment, the greatest athletes segment. We're up to number 59. We traversed all the way from 0, and here we are at 59, and I only have 2 words to say: Jack Ham. Next commercial.
That is the quickest you have ever done anything, let alone best number.
Yeah.
Let's go to the end of the table because I think he's we've got a side bet on who you might say.
Yeah, we talked about this.
So mine is going to be Luke Kuechly.
That's what we
I
thought.
know it's shocking, it's recency bias, but I will also throw another one in there for hockey, and he's not in the conversation just yet, but Jake Gensel, who plays for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah,
it's very good, you know.
He's the one who was beating everybody up and scoring all the goals in the
Four Nations. He scored 2 goals to beat Canada in the group stage when
Correct.
we beat them by 2 goals. So he spent most of his 8 years in Pittsburgh. I think he was with my team, the Hurricanes, last year. And now he's down in Tampa Bay, but he's performed at a very high level. Always been under Sidney Crosby's shadow a little bit. So now he's kind of making his own. But I think he'll be there eventually. But he's not the greatest to wear that number yet.
Not yet, but it's I don't know a ton of hockey players because I've kind of shunned the sport since they made me cry for the second time. And don't be third time. Third time. But yeah, Luke's a great player. But yeah, I'm with the Jaguars. You know, the Hall of Famer, a 6-time All-Pro, and you know, once again, All-Pro. There's only one team, so you know. You don't get much better than that. 6-time All-Pro, won all those trophies. Toothless, as his word is, just next to Lambert and Terry and everybody else on that. So yeah, unbelievable and definite.
I think we move on up the numbers. There were some other players from that team that exist as well.
Oh yeah, one of them, just throwing out. Do you remember the first guy to ever take ballet lessons in the NFL?
Was that Mel Blount?
Nope.
Who was it?
Was Lynn Swan, so he could figure out how to put his toes in on the sideline. You know, what is commonplace, not commonplace, and he actually took a lot of flack because he didn't know what to do. But he's on the bar and he's stretching and he's and people are like, "What are you doing?" I'll show you on Sunday. Boom.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's pretty freaking cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll get it for me because that's a big number that he has, but a lot of good players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There weren't a lot of other 59s to consider.
No,
I
but
wrote a couple down.
I do like your write-in.
Thank you.
The hockey guy?
The hockey guy.
London Fletcher, he was a Ram, right?
For most of his career. He was a Bill for a little while, too.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, they were good. Should we do an American Access and say Brain Train for a minute?
Yeah, let's do those two because Larry, I don't know what's up with Larry today.
My man Larry, I think he owes the bookie or something. Just kidding. Larry has no money.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, the most memorable work outing ever, or just want to take something else off your bucket list, American Access has their 3.5 Atlanta locations waiting for you in Marietta, Tucker, downtown at the Works, and the uber cool new Mobile Axe experience that can be set up wherever you need. Keep an eye out for them at upcoming events or festivals, or look them up online. Or just give them a call at 678-763-3635. That's right, 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
What number was that?
What the funny part was is I thought about it as I started talking. You can never see me when you're doing a commercial. Only that time.
Only that time because Larry, what's going on, man? Are you checking in on your bets or what?
No, my dad had a problem. He got hacked,
Oh,
and
okay.
suddenly got 1,600 emails. And
Is he related to a Nigerian prince? Yeah.
nah.
In Liechtenstein. All right, so we're going to move on and talk about the NFL. It's right around the corner. I saw something the other day that's 100 days until the first college football game.
Yeah, I think we're less than 100 until week 0 now. So
Yeah.
we're,
Week 0.
we're good now.
How cool is that, right? Yeah.
How, but just tell me this. Can't we just call week 0 week 1 and
Yes.
move everything back? You know, this whole week 0, the way that we love football and the way everybody wants to have the first game, there's no way that we're not going to have a week 0
Yeah.
at some point.
I agree with you, but there's something I don't know, comforting or nostalgic about like opening weekend of college football is Labor Day weekend. So I just kind of think that they should just get away with Group 0 and like those first games are that Thursday night. Like
But-
I remember getting super excited about some irrelevant, Northwestern and Purdue playing on that first Thursday of the season.
So wait, explain this to me. You say they always start at the same weekend? Mm-hmm. Then why is there a week 0? Clearly.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying though. It's like that's why I think they call it week 0 because they don't want to call like week 1 is reserved for Labor Day weekend. Week 0 is
now
a
I
weekend
gotcha.
before Labor
I
Day.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, and I don't know if you heard this or not. We were talking about it, I don't think on the show, but before the show, that Notre Dame and Wisconsin are going to play at Lambeau Field
Oh, that's awesome.
on the in 26, not this year.
I
But
love those interesting kind of neutral field games. I just wish Georgia would play in one that's not at Mercedes-Benz because, my God, am I sick of, like, it's not that it's not a cool stadium, but I'm so tired of playing it. Like, if we're going to play in Atlanta, it's like at this point.
and this year,
Yeah.
it's at Mercedes-Benz. Yeah.
They don't. Yeah, I mean, usually they're playing Alabama, so that
we
has a problem with the schedule. But,
Yeah,
but
we
you know,
don't.
we don't.
We don't have. I don't have.
extremely
Good,
well.
I have good memories of watching.
And they have another one, Mercedes-Benz this year, the Georgia Florida.
That's next year.
Yeah,
26,
Georgia Tech is
yeah,
Mercedes.
26, we're in Atlanta.
Where's that year?
Jacksonville.
Exactly.
This year's last year, Jacksonville. And this Atlanta 27.
I'm off by a year.
Yeah, 2017. So I'm excited for the Tampa one.
I don't know where like the Jaguars are going to play their home games. They're going to do it like at Daytona Speedway or
They'll probably
UCF.
play at like Camping World in Orlando or something like that.
that's UCF,
kinda,
right?
No. Well, it's yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A lot of pro games are looks now. The schedule came out here last week. Anything exciting?
I thought it was kind of cool. The Vikings are the away game, but they played 2 weekends in a row in Europe.
Yeah, that is
so I
hot.
thought
Two
that was-
different stadiums.
Yeah, they played Dublin and then London. So I thought that was cool. Like if you're a Vikings fan, like just go over there for 8 days, just kind of make your way down to London and still see your team play again. So,
But if they're both Vikings home games, and
well, no away games.
Oh,
Like you said, I
okay,
mean,
yeah.
that was a home game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a pretty
that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I mean, to have 2 home games in
Yeah.
Europe would really
Yeah, would
suck
suck.
for the
Absolutely.
season ticket base.
You know, that's the first step. You got to have people over there for a couple weeks before you can position a team over there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
this is one that they've opened now. It's what, Ireland, England, Germany, Spain,
Mexico,
Mexico,
So you know, we're expanding all these different countries, and now, hey, let's leave a team over there for a little while.
Yeah.
So
Get
I
used to that.
I really think that's why they're letting the NFL players play in this flag football in the Olympics.
Oh yeah, they're trying
just
to drum up
become more
international
global.
support for
Yeah,
sure. For
yeah.
sure they are. I have to wait, by the way. I saw some memes today. It was like just imagine Pierre from France or Justin Jefferson.
That's all.
That's the goal, right?
Like you thought basketball was big. Basketball was dominant. Like flag football is about to.
Yeah, I've been making fun of
Pierre.
European soccer team, national teams,
Yeah.
not good ones. But if we, can you imagine what our team would look like?
Yeah.
You know, LeBron James would be a center fullback.
Oh, yeah.
Or a goalie.
And that's kind of like an American sense of entitlement, but like if America wanted to be good at soccer, like it would be the best. But like I don't.
Well,
like if our best athletes were playing that sport, it would be the best team
like
in,
you said,
in the world.
if George Jefferson, you know, if he's flying up,
And
Justin,
Pierre is trying to
yeah.
go.
I mean, there's nothing happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not working.
So, but I think international teams are only been over one to go to.
Right?
No, we
Oh,
didn't.
they're not
Yeah,
overseas?
we're going to play the Dolphins in Madrid, and I was pumped for it. But then I saw it was the weekend that Texas was in Athens.
That's happening anyway.
So do you know Larry Graway?
I do.
Yeah. So I talked to Larry Tuesday morning about giving me a price together, what it would cost to go see
Germany?
the Falcons
That'd
in
be
Germany.
awesome.
I wouldn't say Larry's place.
Sure.
In Liechtenstein and just drive over the ball.
Over the hills.
Oh, hills.
Like
I think it would be kind of fun to go. I've never been overseas.
I think it would be so fun to go over there to team play. Like, I was jealous of the Georgia Tech fans. Like I think that's really fun.
We beat that juggernaut of
Yeah.
FSU.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Tech opens up the 29th of August here
Colorado.
at Colorado
Yeah.
on primetime TV.
That's
yeah.
a big game.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the pro stuff, I don't know why the Falcons are getting so much love. I mean, 5 primetime games. Dallas has a few. I don't know what Dallas is going to be. Dallas is going to be in great shape.
But they're always having
Well, I know they used to. I don't know if they do anymore. They still America's team.
Well, they have more fans are haters than anybody. And
Yeah.
So like people are gonna tune in whether they love them. So.
Yeah, and that's very true. I might not tune in. Of course, I'm tuning in. But Titans and Jets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, somebody could beat up on the Cowboys. I'm
I'll
watching that
watch,
game.
for
I'm
sure.
watching that game.
Yeah, and all these games are on Prime. I mean, are they going to make us sign 4 football games?
Absolutely.
The reason I get to use it is Larry's passed away. I don't care anything.
Idiots pay for it. So what are you doing?
There's some other sport that's going to be on Prime. Oh, is it, Thanksgiving Day?
One of them always has been. The third game has always been. Those two.
Always, but-
Well, there was never a third game. And once
Yeah.
there was a
I
third
think
game.
you're thinking about Christmas Day and Netflix.
Yeah.
There's at least one game Christmas Day on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Vice
last
City,
year.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Are
with
they-
at least one, if not two.
Well, I believe Kansas City
Otherwise-
now has the Thanksgiving night game.
No.
Ever.
No. The Bengals and the Ravens are Thanksgiving night this year. It's Thursday night.
Yeah, this is like the 5th year in a row they played that.
Fourth year.
Well, I know
And
Joe
Burrow
Burrow's
was
not happy
complaining
about
about
it.
that.
What's a home game?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to fit out a home game. Like, just make it like a 1:30, like 4 in a row at I think divisional opponent in a primetime game. Come on, like you guys can lighten the load a little bit. Like,
Right.
I mean,
No,
I
they're doing justice.
I get that. I mean, if you're good enough, you'll go out there and win, whether it's not a snow race. But I see the frustration though. Like the Ravens are the king of the hill in that division, and Bengals are trying to do what they can do, but it seems like any
breaks at all.
No.
Yeah, I know. I saw something about the schedule, and who had the hardest schedule? Was it the Patriots or something?
The Giants this year have
The Giants. That's
Oh,
right.
nice.
Yeah. Look at new Blake jumping in. Look at Blake jumping in.
That's what we need.
That's what
Well,
we
you look at that. They're going to tie again. You know, that's still not a good team. So
I saw something else about the schedule too. That just the difference with and distance for the teams throughout the season. So the Bengals think a little bit less than 36,000 miles.
Yeah,
Like, what a
Bengals
dis-
are the only team
what
less
a
than 10,000. They're like
discrepancy.
83, 87 or something like
Yeah.
that.
So that's why I'm just like, you did get a little bit of a break in that, though. So like, let's put our words, but that's a huge discrepancy.
Is that a big break?
I think
Not
so.
having to travel?
Especially those. I don't care what you say. Those international games have got to just be absolute hell on the entire organization, the recovery, the nutrition. I mean, it's just got to be a logistical nightmare.
well, it's got to be very difficult your first time out.
Yeah.
You know, once you think the Jaguars would have it down to us. They spent
Yes,
a
they
year
do,
over there.
yeah.
But, you know, you have to know, hey, we want to do our flight at this time so that you're knocked out and then wake up on a semi-normal basis, however many days ahead. And if you haven't traveled there, no, you're not used to it.
It's not like they're flying over Saturday for a Sunday game.
No, no, definitely
You're
not.
going
Definitely.
wait days ahead of time, and then
Tuesday at least.
And then it impacts the next week too, because then you got to come back home, get back on schedule back here. So I mean, it's really like a 3-week thing. It's like I don't envy the professionals that kind of
No,
manage that stuff.
no. They're also big. I think that Philadelphia is opening up against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And that's Philly, I think. And then the Cowboys again on Christmas Day. Cowboys again, of course, always on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
But I'm just Cowboys. Yeah, I just like it.
What do you think about them?
No.
No?
No,
I've always been sick of
Tom
them.
Lamb's the biggest Cowboys fan there was, outside of doubt. But with Tom, I said I will never. They now are on the same level as the Georgia Bulldogs. I'll never ever pull.
You know, like,
for-
Jared just wanted to read it a little
I
bit.
would pull for the Cowboys if they play Georgia. That's the only time I would ever pull for the Cowboys. Yeah. Sorry
So
about
saith
that.
Chuck.
Hey, maybe we might get one of those games. Maybe if they ever do the World League.
Well, we talked last week on the show about we used to do the Super Bowl playoffs. Yeah.
But no, they'll never do it. But I mean, the humor in my mind is a bit fun to watch. That you do, because there's one team, there's the fans that's all the worst team would absolutely obliterate them, and it'd be a bloodbath. But then there's other teams like I don't know. I mean, there's been some college teams. I'm like, I don't know. I just want to see. I'm not saying win, but I just want to see.
And you know, that's always been the same conversation that never happened. And it could.
Yeah.
That being said, what Georgia or Alabama in the last 5 years brought the offensive line, you go, okay, those guys are doing this. They still could not hang that. Yeah. And undefeated Alabama team versus a winless Lions or Georgia team would get waxed.
They're torn apart. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, we any other games I want to bring up? We can.
Those Chiefs, Lions. Lions Eagles is late in the year. I don't know if the Lions are going to be any good by the point. I don't know if they're going to be any good anyway.
Yeah, we'll see what the loss of Johnson means to him.
Both
right?
sides.
Yeah, both sides, the offense and defense coach. Yeah. So we'll talk about that much more as the season approaches.
I'm making my first trip to Minnesota this year, though. Never.
For a game?
Yeah.
See who?
Bengals. The Bengals. And the Vikings.
Oh, you're a
there,
Bengals
so.
fan, but you are
Yeah.
a Panthers fan too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it's just Bengals and Hurricanes and Blue Jays.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
I was Panthers because that's the team you assigned me for the draft.
Oh.
That's
what
I'm
the
not a
connection
Panthers
was,
fan.
yeah.
You didn't give me no choice.
Eagles at Chiefs in week 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big game. Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I'm just praying, like, please be the year of the Chiefs. Downfall. Not even downfall. Just don't win every freaking game. I'm so tired.
So let me ask you this before
That's
we
why I
move
was-
on. You're a Bengals guy.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Bengals 4 days ago, and I told him he was all, this is we're doing this. This is. And I was like, I don't think it's possible in NFL to pay your quarterback that much, to pay your first receiver that much, and your second receiver, and then tackle off.
Yeah. I feel like because that's what Trey Hendrickson. He's really upset. He was a sack leader. Even when against the last 2 years, the sack leader right up there close to it. So, but it is very difficult, and especially when you're talking about a small market team. Different if you were talking about an LA or a Dallas or Chicago. Cincinnati is the least valuable franchise in the National Football League. So.
I remember reading a stat, and this goes back 15, 20 years at least, when they were talking about for the draft and having player personnel. All the other teams, they had 50 people who were diving into these kids' lives, trying to figure out, and they had like 5. And it's like, you can't compete at that level. I don't know how they do it.
It's weird. I know Dylan wants to he's talked about passion. Goes up step.
Speaking of the story, I went to North Oconee High School last night for their last spring practice and give them some BioLite. And David Pollock coaches over there.
Oh, cool.
And David Pollock is the reason that I'm a Bengals fan.
Oh, yeah?
And I said when I was in 5th grade when he got drafted, I said wherever he goes, see who I'm going to be a fan of. And he only played a year in a game.
And I watched, okay, he's a man, he's really freaking big, from North Oconee in the last week. Do you know who it was?
I didn't know.
Bubba Chandler.
I did not know that he went to Oconee.
Bubba Chandler, the #1 fantasy pitching prospect who's still in the minor leagues right now, plays for the AAA Indianapolis Indians with the Pirates.
Yeah.
Ballhead. And I was like, oh, Lawrenceville. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It was like, where is that? And I was wondering, what school? And it was North Oconee. Like, how about that?
I did not know Bubba went there.
All right.
Interesting. Learn something new every day.
Something new for your brain. Hey, speaking of brain, let's go on the brain train, shall we? Man. You have this Cal Falcon schedule up? That was pulling up.
Hey, it's Melissa at Brain Train Centers, the fastest growing neurofeedback provider in the world, and I have some pretty important questions for you. Do you or someone you know struggle with focus and attention, sleep, memory, or other mood issues? Or maybe you just want to achieve more in high-pressure situations? Well, what if I told you you can unlock your brain's full
do that enough, then your sophomore / rookie quarterback, he might have a little bit of luck. But it's gonna have to be so much Bijan that nobody else knows what to do.
Yeah. Game number 2 is at Minnesota, where we went up last year and got our butts handed to us.
Yeah,
It's a tough place to play.
We don't have to deal with Mole Boy anymore. We get McCarthy.
JJ.
Yeah. So
Or somebody else.
now I think it'll be
Do you
JJ.
think Rodgers is not going to Minneapolis?
No, I don't. But it's crazy to me, with as good and consistent as Minnesota has been over the last 10 years, how quickly they're just like, yeah, we're going with that.
Yeah.
But it could be just they know once you pay a quarterback, everything else starts to go away.
Follow.
Yeah, and then, so is this a W or an L?
I got a W.
You got a W and what?
I got-
All right, I'll go with the W too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I give that one an L. I mean, this is a tough
Yeah.
place to play.
The L, you said.
Very tough place.
Yeah.
When, when what's his name? It's not it's not Hager. The guy who blows the horn.
The horn, yeah. The shofar.
All right, game number 3 at the Panthers.
Win.
Win.
Yeah. That's very
Not a tough place to play.
Well, that's very difficult for us to sit here and talk to the GM of the Panthers,
but-
and you choose them to lose.
I mean, unless we sell a bunch of those $2 tickets, that's not a tough place to play.
All right, week number 4, is that a primetime game? Nope, it's an afternoon game. Minnesota's a primetime
Minnesota
game.
was a primetime game.
Yeah. Then this is where the quarterback stretch starts of playing against some very, very good quarterbacks. And I think Jaden Daniels is already there.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
Scary.
He is a true sophomore,
Yeah.
but after what he did as a freshman, I think we just get.
Well, C.J. Stroud was a really, really good freshman, and he had a so-so year
Yeah,
last year. It
a little
wasn't
bit of
great.
a regression, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, and I don't mean to nitpick between the two of them. Both of them are outstanding quarterbacks, and there is a reason why there is a catchphrase called a sophomore slump.
Yeah.
But Jaden runs. CJ doesn't run. So when CJ stuff starts breaking down, he's very limited. I don't see an issue coming from.
Yeah.
So our second home game, is it a W or an L?
It's an L.
It's a no.
I'm going to have to go with L too. Yeah.
But that still has me 3-1 going into our break, which is probably the worst thing on this schedule.
It's the time of our bye.
The
Week-
bye,
week
yeah,
five
that's
bye.
what I have very early. That makes for a rough stretch down November and December.
Yeah. Especially, and you don't wish any injuries on yourself, but we go through the first 4 weeks and we're healthy. Okay, now just wait.
Yeah.
You're 3-1, just wait.
just waiting.
And by week 9, they're all going to be dragging
Gassed.
and tired and gassed.
Well, I mean, they used to play a 16-game season without a bye week. So, I mean, it's about the same, but
Yeah,
it's
but
still,
that's when the Jack brothers were dominating things,
yeah, the Jack
These
brothers.
guys are soft.
All right, and then after our bye week, another tough quarterback, Josh Allen, comes into Mercedes-Benz on a Monday night, and I got a feeling my buddy over here on the right is going to be at that game.
I am probably going to be at that game.
And
But I'm not looking forward to it. I honestly am not, because those are my two favorite teams. So I won't leave there. I'd like to tell you that I'll just go with whoever wins and be the talking smack. But whoever loses, I'll be like, God, they should have won if they'd have done this. So I won't enjoy the game, but I'll probably be there.
And I cheated. And I looked at Robert Cheat. He's already got one marked as an L.
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
I think you should wear blue to that game. Just I don't know if you're I don't know if you're conflicted over what jersey to wear, but I'd wear a blue one.
No, I don't think I could wear a blue jersey to Atlanta.
Do you have any of those half jerseys that they have when they're like when the moms
have two
sons
kids
on both
play?
teams?
I'll ask what's her name, Kelsey.
Kelsey,
Yeah, Mama
yeah.
Kelsey. Where's your seamstress?
I bet we can find somebody here to do something like that for you. All right, I'm probably gonna have to go with an L too.
Yeah, that's a tough. Buffalo's right up there with Kansas City. They just don't have the trophies, but they are the class of the AFC for teams not named Kansas City.
And he is so brutal. Now, they typically don't like to run him like a battering ram in week 5 or 6. But against that Falcon defense, it might just be screaming, "Run me, right at them." So hopefully we don't miss Grady Jarrett too much in that game.
Yep, and then we have a Sunday night game.
Our third prime game for 7 o'clock.
And that is at San Fran. So it really won't be prime time. It won't be prime time here, but it'll be 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 5:20 there.
Yeah, in San Francisco. And another good quarterback. Purdy just signed a mega deal.
Crazy that money.
Yeah,
I
it
did
is
not
nuts.
see what he got.
It's like 4 years, 275
Over 50
million or
over
something.
50 a year.
It's insane.
Yeah. I like it. Give me a plus. San Francisco's lost a lot.
They have lost a lot, and the one thing that they're always and have always been good at is they load the wagon on defense. They usually can run the ball, but they load the line on defense. Now they're giving him that much money. I'm not really worried about that team. I think they better draft another quarterback.
Still gonna say I'm still gonna go with an L on that one.
Yeah.
You go with an L for the Falcons. All right, 2 W's and an L on the Niners. Then we go back home to play another good quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa.
Now, does he have a big helmet or like a little camera on his helmet or anything during this game?
Yeah, he might not even be playing by that point.
Yeah, he may be concussed again by then. Yeah. But again, a tough team. And and if the Falcons' defense steps up and does anything, if they're a top 15 defense or top 10, some of these L's may turn into W's. But I'm going to.
I have us at 4-2 right now. I don't know how much more optimistic I can be.
I'm going to give us a W against the Dolphins.
I'll give a W for Miami.
Yeah.
I'm really close to doing it, and I think I'm probably going to do it. But I think the biggest thing in that game is the cheetah done. Is the fear of the fastest man in the NFL, because he did not look like
Didn't look like himself.
Did not look like himself last year. So I'll tell you right now, if he's not. Yeah, it's an easy dub. We got that one.
Yeah. All right. Everybody W's across the board on that one?
Yep.
All right. And then we go to New England. The Belichick less by 2 years now.
Now, can I just go ahead and start making fun of myself? I just told you how brutal our schedule was. I got us at 5-2 going into Indy and New England. So I might be drinking too much Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I look at it and I want to know where the pundits, the professional pundits, have us losing all these games. I have to look
my
at the
schedule.
schedule. Yeah. Oh, your schedule?
Yeah, well, I'm 3 and 4 already where
You're
I'm
3
at
and
right
4?
now.
Okay. Well, we're looking at Dylan.
That over-under set by Vegas is only to get 50% of the bets on one side and 50% of the bets on the other.
Yeah.
Makes no difference on anything
All right,
else.
so at New England, with Mike Vrabel now at the helm in New England,
W.
W for the Falcons.
He's garbage. If ever, I think I'd like to hang out with Vrabel right up here at Miller's Ale House, where you can come too. But I do not think bringing him back in that whole, it's like they used to talk about with Captain Khaki and, a Michigan man, you got to get somebody. I think this guy is going to be a puppet for Kraft, and Kraft thinks he can manipulate him and do all the other things. I think this is a horrible decision by them, and he'll be gone in 2 years.
They don't have the talent to.
They
don't have the
nothing.
talent to make
They
up
have
for it
nothing.
either. So
They do
Yeah.
not.
All right. Next week, we go to Germany
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag
Olympia Stadium.
in Berlin. First game ever in Berlin.
Yeah.
Fifth
Ich
game in
bin
Germany,
ein-
first time in Berlin. Give me the Falcons.
I'll take the Falcons. That one's really a toss-up to me, but I'll just
Why is that one?
for the sake of the audience, I'll go. I'll go with that. I'll give a W.
Are you worried about the Colts' run game, or do you think Mr. Richardson has finally figured out how to play the position?
I don't know. I mean, I think Anthony Richardson is. I'll give Anthony Richardson this. He is much better than I ever thought that he would be in college. I never understood where the draft grades were coming from when he was in college, and he has really impressed me ever since he got into the league. So I think he's getting a little bit better. I like their defense, and you just like again, you talk about the travel and the logistics. I mean, who knows? So I'll give it a W though.
I need some Kool-Aid. Go ahead, Chuck.
Right, my internet's slowing down, so who's next on the thing?
It's Carolina at home.
Dub.
So November 16th is our Week 11 game, and according to Homes Alive, we're 8-2 at that point. We already cleared the over. Probably, maybe you should find a good bet with Vegas. Hey, I want the over. I want the over by Week 11. Bam, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and
They'll give
then-
you good odds on that one.
And then who's next?
Then we got at the Saints.
That's Saints, yeah.
I want to say L because we don't play well typically in New Orleans.
Typically, we're going to split.
But-
You should win that game.
Yeah, who's New Orleans going to have as a quarterback?
That kid from Louisville.
The one who's
Schmoo.
Tyler Schuff, or I can't remember how to pronounce his last name.
Shuffleboard, something like that. Yeah. So another W.
Based on talent, I'll give it
Another shot.
The voodoo down there is weird, but it's.
I'm still
so-
circling here. I can't get
A lot of times in this series, you win on the road and you lose at home.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be even, I'll go ahead and give us that loss in whatever week when it comes up. But I'm giving us that win
All right, and who's next?
at the JETS Jets.
How
at
can we
MetLife.
pick anybody to lose against the Jets?
I knew he was going to give
That's
us a
the reaction I wanted.
Listen to you.
Yeah.
Hey, you like a little slip nut. How can you not? I got what they mean to say right now. I mean, they do have he's had an incredible rookie year. Fell off a little bit last year. I think he's probably ready to have another one. They got Garrett Wilson, so they've got one of the top 10 running backs or the top 10 wide receivers. So I mean, there's talent there.
They got pieces, but
And they've always had a good
defense. Yeah.
So I don't know. But I signal. I know who I'm worried about.
The fond memories of Reeves Island are long gone for me, so it's really hard for me to look at.
Who's the
just
guy on the
anything.
other side of Reeve? The one who had 17 kids by 19 women?
Evander Holyfield? Oh no, a different sport.
I'm not sure who that was.
I'll look that one up.
All right, I get my schedule back up
Cromartie.
here. So
What's his name?
now we're at Seattle. We're at
Seattle,
Seattle.
Atlanta.
They beat us last year too, didn't they?
What is Seattle doing right now?
No, I mean, just look at Seattle. They're running on time. But man, I don't see anybody. Maybe the Raiders is an L for me. At Los Angeles.
The Raiders will only play.
They
They're
really
going to lose
are.
to the Raiders.
He's
Yeah.
so worried. He's so worried. He's worried about teams that didn't even play.
Yeah, the Rams, decent team. That's the only other L I have.
And I'll think about that game. That team. That team is either going to be at the highest level playing for the playoffs, or they're going to have nothing to do. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to give us 2 losses with Tampa and New Orleans. That means split these series. I'll even say we lose to we lose to the Rams.
I think we're going to split with Tampa, but I think we're going to sweep the Saints this year,
I got us 12-5.
which is 4.5 more than the pros.
Yeah, I got 9 and 8.
You got 9 and 8. Does that make them in the playoffs? They're going to beat Tampa for the division.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I can get him for sure.
Yeah.
In that division, definitely.
All right, let's ask everyone. Where do you guys?
10-7.
10 and 7.
Very fair.
Yeah, I'd 7s. Vegas will get some money on it.
And what does Larry say after the 7th beer?
Larry says 6 and 20.
I think we're going to get 11.
11
11
wins. I
wins.
like it.
Nice.
Right, 11 wins would be
Good optimism in Atlanta.
You can still listen to an hour ago.
Too much
Good
time
thing I was
listening
late.
to 92.9 and all those happy guys. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, we're a little lower, but Dylan, thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
Appreciate you making it,
a little late.
taking
They're
time
all
out of your
good. They're all
busy
good.
schedule for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jesslyn finally accepted my friend request on Facebook.
Did you?
After 2 months. I
Big
think.
days, yeah.
Yeah. She's all over it. Yeah. All right, so guys, thanks for coming out tonight. Big crowd at Miller's tonight. Hope it stays the same for the 7 o'clock show. Like I said, come out and meet all the coaches. And until then, guys, know you know talking about gets across. Larry cut me off.
He was ready for you to be done.
Oh man. How's everything? Good?
It's busy. I've been doing like a high school spring practice blitz. I've been at a different high school every day for the past 2.5 weeks. And today's my
Because school's out
day.
now, right?
Yeah, schools are done now.
Do high schools practice during the summer? They don't. Do they?
They'll practice. It's a lot of conditioning. It's not. I mean, they'll start fall camp up when they start practicing again. But they have one dead week coming up for Memorial Day week, and they have a dead week during 4th of July. But outside of that, they're pretty